Thinking about moving into a retirement home? What if I told you that many seniors regret it, but only after it's too late? For years, we've been told that retirement communities are the perfect solution for aging comfortably. No more home maintenance, no more isolation, just a worry-free lifestyle with medical care at your fingertips. It sounds ideal, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Many seniors move in expecting an easy transition, only to find themselves feeling trapped, lonely, or even financially strained in ways they never anticipated. The reality is, retirement homes aren't always what they seem. In fact, thousands of seniors realize too late that they've given up more than just their homes. They've lost a sense of control over their lives. They wish they had asked the right questions, thought things through a little longer, or considered other options before signing that contract. And that's exactly why we're here today. If you or a loved one is considering a move to a retirement home, you need to hear this first. Because in today's video, we're going to uncover 6 harsh truths about retirement homes that most people don't talk about. These are the real, unfiltered realities that can make or break your experience, and by the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge to make a decision that truly works for you. So, whether you're already weighing your options or just thinking about the future, I encourage you to stick with me until the very end. Because the final point we'll discuss? It's the one that surprises most seniors the most, and it's the regret that's hardest to undo. But before we begin, if you haven't already subscribed, now's the perfect time. We bring you essential tips and advice to help you live your best life as you age, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments, are you considering a retirement home? Or have you already experienced life in one? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, let's get into the 6 harsh truths that every senior needs to know before making one of the biggest decisions of their life. Harsh truth number 1: it's more expensive than you think. Let's start with one of the biggest surprises for seniors moving into a retirement home: the true cost. Many people assume that once they pay the advertised monthly fee, everything is covered. Meals, activities, medical care, maybe even housekeeping. But here's the reality. What looks like an affordable price at first glance can quickly balloon into something unmanageable. Take James, for example. He's 72, widowed, and decided it was time to sell his home and move into a retirement community. The brochure said $3,000 a month, not cheap, but manageable with his pension and savings. It sounded reasonable, even comfortable. But what James didn't realize was that this price only covered the bare minimum. Once he moved in, he found out that basic medical assistance was extra, another $500 a month for scheduled nurse visits. Housekeeping? That's an additional $300. Want access to the on-site gym or pool? Another $150 per month. Even small conveniences like laundry service or meal delivery to his room had extra charges. By the time he was settled, his actual monthly bill was over $4,500. And because these fees weren't obvious up front, his budget was already stretched thin within the first year. Unfortunately, James isn't alone. Thousands of seniors move into retirement communities only to find that the cost is far higher than what they expected. And unlike renting an apartment, it's not always easy to leave. Many contracts come with exit fees or penalties for moving out early, trapping seniors in a financial situation they never saw coming. So what can you do to protect yourself? 1. Read every contract carefully, twice. Don't just look at the advertised price. Ask for a full breakdown of all potential costs. What's included? What isn't? Are there additional charges for medical care, meals, or personal assistance? If the contract is too vague, that's a red flag. 2. Consider alternatives before committing. Retirement homes aren't the only option. Many seniors are choosing assisted living at home instead, hiring in home care or modifying their houses to stay independent longer. In some cases, this can be far more cost-effective than a full retirement community. And one final tip: talk to current residents. No one understands the financial reality of a retirement home better than the people already living there. Ask them about unexpected costs and whether they feel the pricing is fair. Their experience could save you from a major financial headache. The bottom line? Retirement homes can provide comfort and convenience, but only if you truly understand the real cost before moving in. Harsh truth number 2: loneliness and social isolation can still happen. A lot of seniors believe that moving into a retirement home means they'll always be surrounded by friendly faces, engaging in activities, and finally breaking free from loneliness. After all, isn't that one of the biggest selling points? A built-in community, social events, and opportunities to make new friends? Unfortunately, the reality doesn't always match the promise. Many seniors find themselves feeling just as isolated, if not more so, after moving in. Take Margaret, for example. She was excited about her move, imagining a life filled with coffee chats, group activities, and new friendships. But once she settled in, she found it wasn't that simple. Most residents already had their own social circles, making it difficult for a newcomer to fit in. Some people preferred to keep to themselves. Others were dealing with health issues that kept them from socializing. And while the retirement home did offer group activities, participation wasn't always as enthusiastic as the brochure had made it seem. Weeks turned into months, and Margaret found herself spending more time alone in her room than she ever had in her own home. She never expected to feel lonelier in a place filled with people. This is a reality many seniors don't consider. Moving to a retirement home doesn't automatically guarantee social connection. Just like anywhere else in life, friendships take time to build, and some environments can even make it harder. Retirement communities, especially larger ones, can develop cliques, just like high school. Residents who have been there longer might already have established groups, leaving newcomers struggling to find their place. So, what can you do to avoid this? 1. Research the community's social culture before you commit. Don't just take the facility's word for it. Ask residents directly, how active is the social scene? Are there regular activities that people actually attend? Are new residents welcomed, or does it feel cliquish? If possible, visit during an event or meal service. Pay attention to how people interact. Do they seem engaged, or are they just going through the motions? A lively, welcoming environment is key to staying socially fulfilled. 2. Don't rely solely on the retirement home for your social life. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make is assuming that moving into a community means they no longer need to nurture their outside friendships. But maintaining relationships with old friends, family, and even neighbors outside the home is essential. Set up regular calls, plan outings, or even schedule a standing lunch date with friends. If you're moving further away, explore ways to stay connected, like video calls or local senior meetups. A retirement home should add to your social life, not replace it. 3. Take the initiative. If you move in and find the social scene lacking, don't wait for others to include you. Start small. Introduce yourself to new people, attend different events, or even suggest new activities. Sometimes, all it takes is one friendly person to bring others together. The bottom line? Loneliness isn't just about being physically alone, it's about feeling disconnected. And if you don't take steps to ensure the community is a good fit for you before you move in, you might find yourself feeling more isolated than ever. If you're still watching, that means you're finding this helpful. If so, please take a moment to like this video. It helps more people discover this important information. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss out. Also, don't forget to share this with others who might benefit from it. Harsh truth number 3: less control over your daily life. One of the biggest fears about aging is losing control over decisions, routines, and the way you live your daily life. Many seniors move into retirement homes expecting more convenience and freedom, only to discover that they've actually given up more independence than they ever imagined. Think about this. For decades, you've made your own choices: what time to wake up, what to eat, how to spend your day. But once you enter a retirement home, a lot of those decisions may no longer be yours to make. Take Bill, for example. He spent years perfecting his cooking skills and loved making his own meals. It was a big part of his routine, something that gave him joy. But after moving into a retirement community, he found out that all meals were scheduled at fixed times, and the kitchen wasn't accessible to residents. If he wanted something different from what was on the menu, he was out of luck. And bringing in outside food? That was discouraged, with strict rules about what could and couldn't be stored in his room. It wasn't just the food. Bill also discovered that the entire day was structured: wake-up calls at a set time, planned group activities, even quiet hours that limited when he could have visitors. It felt like living in a hotel where someone else was in charge of the itinerary. The freedom he once had in his own home was gone. This is something many seniors don't consider before making the move. Retirement homes often operate on schedules designed for efficiency, not personal preference. They decide when meals are served, what activities are available and when, housekeeping schedules, visitor policies, Even small details, like thermostat settings in shared spaces. At first, this might not seem like a big deal. But over time, it can feel restrictive, especially if you're used to setting your own routine. And while some communities do their best to offer flexibility, many follow a one-size-fits-all approach that may not match your lifestyle. So how can you maintain control over your daily life? 1. Ask about the rules and policies before you move in. Don't assume you'll be able to do everything you do now. Some key questions to ask: can you prepare your own meals, or are you required to eat at scheduled times? Are there restrictions on having guests over, especially overnight? How much control do residents have over their daily routines? 2. Look for communities that offer flexibility. Not all retirement homes are the same. Some give residents more independence, allowing them to set their own schedules and make more personal choices. Before committing, visit multiple facilities and look for places that respect individual preferences rather than enforcing rigid rules. 3. Stay vocal and involved. If you do move into a community and find that the rules feel restrictive, speak up. Many facilities have resident councils or suggestion boards where policies can be discussed. Being actively involved in decision-making can help shape a more balanced living environment. The bottom line? Moving into a retirement home shouldn't mean losing control over your life. But if you don't choose carefully, you could end up feeling more like a guest in someone else's system rather than the owner of your own routine. Harsh truth number 4: declining quality of care over time. One of the biggest reasons seniors choose a retirement home is for peace of mind. They want to know that as they age, they'll have access to quality care when they need it. But what many don't realize is that the quality of care can change, sometimes for the worse. A facility that seems perfect when you move in might not stay that way. New management, staffing shortages, or cost-cutting measures can turn a once great place into a nightmare. Just ask Eleanor. When she first moved into her retirement home, the staff was friendly, attentive, and always available. Nurses checked in regularly, the dining staff knew her by name, and there was a true sense of community. But over the years, things changed. Management shifted, budgets got tighter, and soon, there were fewer caregivers and longer response times. Simple requests, like help with dressing or getting to the dining hall, started taking twice as long. Some days, there weren't enough staff members on duty to help everyone on time. And when Eleanor's health took a turn, her family realized that the facility no longer had the resources to properly care for her. They had to make the difficult choice to move her again, something they never expected when she first arrived. This is a harsh reality in many retirement homes. What looks great today might not be the same in a few years. Facilities get bought out, policies change, and staff turnover can lead to inconsistent or declining care. How can you protect yourself from this? 1. Read long-term reviews, not just recent ones. A 5-star rating from last year doesn't mean the quality is the same today. Look for patterns in reviews over time. If you see complaints about recent staff shortages or declining conditions, take that as a warning sign. 2. Talk to long-term residents and their families. Ask them, has the quality of care stayed the same over the years? Are staff members consistent, or does the turnover seem high? Do they feel their needs are still being met? Their answers will give you a more honest picture than any sales pitch from management. 3. Visit at different times, especially unannounced. A retirement home may look perfect when you tour it during an open house. But what about in the evening or on weekends? Some facilities reduce staff after business hours, leading to slower response times. Visiting at different times will show you how well they operate when they aren't expecting visitors. The bottom line? A retirement home might provide great care today, but that doesn't mean it always will. If you don't do your research and continue monitoring conditions, you or your loved one could end up in a place that no longer meets your needs. Harsh truth number 5: health declines faster without personalized care. Many seniors move into retirement homes expecting better health support, thinking they'll have access to trained staff who will help them stay active and independent for years to come. But here's a harsh reality. One-size-fits-all care can actually speed up physical and mental decline. Not every facility takes a personalized approach to health. Some focus on basic needs only, meals, medication reminders, and emergency care, but neglect the individualized support that keeps seniors truly thriving. And without that, small health issues can spiral into major ones. Take George, for example. At 75, he was still active but needed daily mobility exercises due to knee problems. At home, he had a routine, morning stretches, a short walk, and strength exercises recommended by his doctor. He assumed that moving into a retirement home would make it even easier to stay on track. But when he got there, he realized the staff wasn't trained to provide personalized mobility support. The group fitness classes were too generic, and there was no one making sure he stayed on top of his routine. Over time, he moved less and less. His knees stiffened, walking became harder, and within a year, he was using a walker for the first time in his life. What could have been prevented with proper care ended up accelerating his decline. And it's not just physical health. Cognitive decline can also worsen in an environment that lacks mental stimulation. If a community doesn't encourage engagement, learning, and activity tailored to individual needs, seniors can lose their sharpness faster than they would at home. How can you avoid this? 1. Look for a community that offers truly individualized care. Before you move in, ask, do they create personalized health and mobility plans for each resident? Are staff trained to assist with specific physical or cognitive needs? What preventive health measures do they offer to keep residents active? If the answer is vague or generic, that's a red flag. 2. Be your own advocate. Don't assume the staff will automatically know what's best for you. Communicate your needs clearly. If you require a specific routine, request support for it. And if you notice a lack of attention to your health, speak up before it's too late. 3. Stay active and engaged. Even if a facility doesn't offer customized support, take charge of your own health. Continue any exercises your doctor recommends. Stay socially active to maintain mental sharpness. Set personal goals for mobility and cognitive health. The bottom line? A retirement home should enhance your health, not contribute to its decline. If a facility isn't willing or able to provide personalized care, you could end up losing your independence faster than you ever expected. Harsh truth number 6: you might miss your independence more than you expected. For many seniors, the decision to move into a retirement home feels practical. Maybe maintaining a house is becoming too much. Maybe family members encourage it, hoping it will make life easier. But here's the truth: many seniors deeply regret giving up their independence once it's too late to turn back. When you've spent decades building a life in your own home, decorating it to your taste, enjoying the peace of your backyard, knowing your neighbors, leaving it behind is more than just a change in address. It's a loss of control, comfort, and familiarity. Take Margaret, for example. At 78, she was still active but felt pressured by her children to move into a retirement community. They worried about her living alone, and the idea of on-site medical care and prepared meals seemed appealing. So, after much debate, she sold her house, packed up her belongings, and moved in. At first, it was fine. The facility was nice, the meals were decent, and the staff was friendly. But soon, the real loss hit her. She missed her space, her routine, her freedom. She could no longer step out into her own garden, decide to paint a room a new color, or take a walk around her old neighborhood where everyone knew her name. She had traded her independence for security, but at a cost she hadn't fully realized. This emotional regret is one of the biggest complaints seniors have after moving into a retirement home. Many feel like they've lost a part of themselves. And the hardest part? If they sold their home, moving back isn't an option. How can you avoid this regret? 1. Try a temporary stay first. Many retirement communities offer trial stays where you can experience life there before making a permanent commitment. This gives you time to see if it truly fits your needs without giving up your home. 2. Consider aging-in-place solutions. Before assuming you have to move, explore ways to stay in your home longer. Home modifications, like grab bars, ramps, or stair lifts, can make living at home safer. In-home caregiving services can provide assistance without forcing a move. Community programs offer meal deliveries, transportation, and senior-friendly social events. 3. Keep control over your decision. Don't rush into selling your home because of external pressure. Take your time, weigh all options, and make sure it's what you truly want. The bottom line? Moving into a retirement home isn't just a logistical decision, it's an emotional one. And once you leave your home behind, there's no undo button. If you're even slightly unsure, explore all your options before making a choice you might regret. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you or someone you know live in a retirement home? Have you or your loved ones faced any of these challenges? Or do you have any advice for seniors considering the move? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else make the right decision. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like. It really helps us reach more seniors looking for important guidance like this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our essential senior tips. At the end of the day, retirement should be about freedom, comfort, and happiness. Whether you choose to move into a retirement community or stay in your own home, the most important thing is that it's a place that truly feels like home, a place where you can live on your own terms and enjoy the life you deserve. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.